If you opened any official Soviet map during the height of the Cold War, the coastal town of Balaklava simply did not exist. It had been erased, wiped from atlases, scrubbed from road signs, deleted from geography textbooks. Even relatives of the people who lived there needed special KGB clearance just to step inside the town limits. But here's the twist. The town itself wasn't the real secret. It was just the cover story. The real secret was hiding inside the massive, seemingly ordinary mountain that loomed over the bay. If you knew exactly where to look, you would see giant steel blast doors slowly creaking open right out of the cliff face, and slipping quietly into the darkness behind them were nuclear-armed Soviet submarines. This is Object 825 GTS, an entire classified naval base built inside a mountain, engineered to survive a direct nuclear apocalypse. It could shelter up to 3,000 people, store atomic warheads, and launch a retaliatory strike at the end of the world. And what lies in its flooded tunnels today is pure nightmare fuel. The decision to build the facility originated in 1947. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had demonstrated to Soviet leadership what a single nuclear weapon could do to a concentrated target. A fleet anchored in an open harbour presented an obvious vulnerability. Stalin assigned Lavrenti Beria, who oversaw the Soviet nuclear program, the task of identifying a location where submarines could survive a nuclear exchange and remain capable of a counterattack. After years of assessment, planners selected Balaklava Bay on the Crimean Peninsula. The geography offered several advantages. The inlet was narrow, between 200 and 400 meters wide, and not visible from open water. Steep cliffs enclosed it on multiple sides. Above the harbour rose Mount Tavros, composed of dense limestone approximately 126 meters thick at its maximum point. Construction began in 1957 under a classified unit designated Construction Department Number 5228. Over 8 years, military engineers excavated the interior of the mountain, removing 120,000 tons of solid rock. The construction cost reached 67 million Soviet rubles, with an additional 65 million allocated for equipment and life support systems. Maintaining secrecy during construction presented a significant operational challenge. American reconnaissance aircraft and satellites were conducting regular surveillance of the Black Sea coastline. To prevent detection, all excavated material was removed exclusively at night, loaded onto barges, and deposited in the Black Sea. By 1961, the facility had been completed and designated a Category 1 nuclear-resistant installation. The central feature of the complex was a deep water canal running 602 meters through the mountain from one side to the other. The channel reached depths of 8 meters and widths of up to 22 meters. A submarine could approach submerged, enter through a camouflaged entrance cut into the cliff face, surface inside the mountain, receive maintenance or rearmament in a dry dock, and exit through the opposite side without surfacing in open water. The facility was designed to accommodate 7 Whiskey-class and Romeo-class diesel-electric submarines with capacity for up to 14. The 2 entrance gates were reinforced steel and concrete caisson-blast doors, each approximately 7 meters tall and 10 meters wide, weighing hundreds of tons. They were engineered to withstand a 100 kiloton nuclear detonation at close range, roughly 5 times the yield of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The interior of the complex covered 9,600 square meters and included diesel generators, fuel reserves, a fresh water supply, and an internal railway system. Medical facilities, a bakery, a kitchen, command centers, dormitories, and showers were all incorporated into the design. The life support systems were built to sustain 3,000 personnel for 30 days of autonomous operation. An adjacent facility, designated Object 820, served as the nuclear arsenal where atomic warheads were stored and prepared for loading into torpedoes. The town of Balaklava functioned as a closed city for the duration of the facility's operational life. It was enclosed by barbed wire and surveillance posts, with KGB checkpoints controlling all access. Photography was prohibited. Between 170 and 230 workers operated inside the mountain at any given time, supported by approximately 50 security personnel. Workers were assigned to specific color-coded zones and were not permitted to enter other areas of the complex or to discuss their work outside it. According to declassified accounts, when asked by family members where they worked, the sanctioned response was that they did not know. Submarines entered and departed only at night, one vessel at a time. Disclosure of information regarding the nuclear weapons stored at Object 820 carried severe criminal penalties. These conditions persisted for more than 3 decades. Following the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, Crimea became part of independent Ukraine, and the Black Sea Fleet was divided between Ukraine and Russia. Object 825 was officially decommissioned in 1993. The last submarine departed Balaklava Bay in 1996. In the period immediately following closure, the facility was extensively looted. Copper wiring, steel piping, generators, fuel infrastructure, and other equipment were removed and sold for scrap. A visitor who entered in 1994 described the state of the complex as consistent with sudden abandonment. In 2003, Ukraine opened a portion of the facility as a Cold War museum. Following Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, the museum continued to operate under new administration. The deeper sections of the complex remain flooded. Divers who have entered the submerged corridors report poor visibility and extensive corrosion throughout the interior. In February 2025, satellite imagery and footage circulating on Telegram showed the installation of floating barriers at the entrance to Balaklava harbour, consistent with anti-drone defensive measures. The Soviets hid an entire submarine fleet inside a mountain to prepare for the end of the world. But the Americans went even further. They tried to hide 600 nuclear missiles directly underneath the melting ice of Greenland. If you want to see how nature crushed America's secret underground ice city, click the video on your screen right now. Stay curious. Stay vigilant.